Here's everyone, we're going to couple up the right side.
Why have I not got a proper glass? Everyone else, you get the idea, do you? Come on.
No one told you that was gonna be this way. The darkness showed the road, your love has been your way. It's like you're always stuck in sympathy, but it hasn't been your day. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Shaun's Gig Journal. So this week's a bit of a different one. I did a couple of different gigs on the Saturday. So I went to like a cricket club and I had a band on there. It's one that's been on before called Jamagotchi, and they like play loads of 90s covers. So I went to that, and then afterwards I went to the fire station in Sunderland and watched BBC Proms, who were doing like, it was part of like a regional thing. It was on different venues, but for this one it was like Mozart and Mendelssohn, so it was something different. And I thought, why not, let's go and check it out and see what this is all about. First of all, I went to cricket club. It was like, I think it was like 4 o'clock start, 4 till 6. And I got there about 3:30. It was rammed, absolutely packed. There was a cricket game going on. There was a band on at the same time, which was a bit mental. You had the two different crowds sort of mingling, and people were trying to watch the cricket, people were trying to watch the band, and then people were just having a drink wherever they could fit in. So it wasn't the greatest organised one, but there was lots of people there and people were having a good time. And it was really sunny and outdoors. You know, watch a bit of the cricket and listen to a band at the same time. So it's the first time I've ever did that. And that was, you know, something different at least. The main issue was really getting served. I was that busy. It was like at least half an hour to get served. I was lucky enough, my mate was already there. So by the time I got down, he was at the front of the queue and he just got 4 pints in. We had a couple of pints each to last us over. The band was spot on, but it must have been a bit of a weird gig for them. Like I said, you've got a cricket game going on in the background. They were outdoors, so like they were on like a terrace thing, but then you had like people drinking down the side of them. It was like down a bank, and then like sort of behind them. And then you had like a field across from them where people were drinking and sort of watching them. And then you had some stands as well. So like you've got people all over the shop. Some of them can't even see the band. They can't see them properly. It must have been a bit weird. And it was just like sort of them on a terrace with loads of people around them drinking. They might have really enjoyed it. It might have been a cool gig to play and different. It was just a bit weird. But I still enjoyed myself. Nice sunny day, having a couple of pints with a band on and some cricket in the background. You know, that's canny. But yeah, they play all sorts of different music, like Blur, Oasis, do dance stuff like the Shaman, some pop stuff, anything from the 90s as a go really. There's a couple of 2000 songs in there as well, I think. So they might go over the 90s a little bit, but they've got all the Daft Tratties on, the Kappa Tratties and Adidas Tratties and stuff that was popular back in the day, so they're getting right into it. The main lad, he's out of the Lakeport, so it's something completely different to what he does there. Obviously, all these lads have been in bands, you know, all over the shop. Good musicians, good singers, so, and it's music that's going to get the crowd pumped, the class full party. Yeah, so that was class, and as I say, it was a crazy gig really, but sometimes it's good to go and do something different. So yeah, I was buzzing with that. Then the Proms, BBC Proms, which was in the fire station. Really nice venue. We're useless. Loads of times we mess it up and end up going in late. So we were there on time, but we were like just having a crack on and a drink outside, waiting for it to start. Didn't realise it started, so we missed the first song. And that sort of wait outside until that finished, and then they'll sort of let you in so you're not disrupting the bands, which was fair enough. So I think the first song was like 7 minutes or something. So we missed that. Then we got in for the next one. We thought it was going to be sitting, but it wasn't. It was like standing in the main part, and you were just watching like the whole band play, and that was pretty cool. But it is a bit weird standing for one of them gigs, which I'll get to in a minute. But luckily for us, we got in at this point, because the next song was probably like 40 minutes long or something. So if we missed that, we would have knocked up the whole gig. But we didn't, so it was all good. But yeah, like musicians who play in like classical bands and orchestras and things like that, you're pretty much guaranteed that they're going to be class musicians. Like, to play with that many different people and get your timing right and come in at the right time, you've got to be really good. You've got to practice loads. So it's not something you go in expecting like it could be iffy or not. You know they're going to be spot on, especially when they're playing stuff at this level. And for BBC and things, you're going to get some class musicians. So we got there, they brought out female violinist, and a pianist, and they sort of led the whole thing, and they were like really, really, really good. Unbelievable artists. The violinist was like all over the shop, like really good. It was miles better than I thought it was going to be. I've seen like orchestras and things before, a little bit here and there, more so at festivals and things, or with, you know, like a band when they brought them in as backing and stuff. But seeing like a proper classical one with the main focus on that was cool as out, and a bit different for me, so I was glad I went. It was class. I really, really enjoyed it. The only thing I would say is like standing, it's like dead silence, like no one wants to speak or, you know, focusing on the music. It's not a rock gig where you're bouncing about and jumping about and singing along and, you know, carrying on with your mates and stuff. It's like intense music performance, but just standing, you know, sort of straight for 40 minutes is really hard. My feet were knacking, my calves were knacking, and like, even though it's not a rock gig, it's still good music, so you're wanting to like sort of bounce about a bit and get it on, but like, I don't know if it's like the etiquette of it, or if it's just everyone sort of like not wanting to disrupt them, or, you know, disrupt all the people in the audience, but everyone's like just stiff. And that was a bit weird because I'm not used to going to gigs where people's like that. So I shifted it off into the corner where I was out with everyone's way and wasn't going to disturb anyone, and I was just sort of bopping along with it. So they did Mendelssohn and they did Mozart, and I'll pop the symphonies and that up in the corner or wherever. And they were cool. I listened to them before the gig. I do listen to classical music sometimes. I'm not no expert or anything on that. Like, if you were asking us in a conversation about specific symphonies and what have you, I probably wouldn't have a clue, but I can put them on and listen to it. I do sometimes when I go to bed or if I just want to chill out. I like a bit of it, it's good. But my knowledge on it isn't great. But I had heard these before, so I'll take some of the more famous ones. And I listened to them in the run-up, so I knew what I was expecting. Because I'm not an expert, I'm not going to, you know, go into any sort of deep review of it. All I'll say is, like, I thought it was really good and had a really good time, and I would recommend other people go if you think you're going to like classical music. It's definitely worth it. It's a little bit different if you're a gig goer like me. Sorry. If you're a gig goer like me, and you're used to going to like rock concerts and things like that, you're in a different environment, but it's really enjoyable. And at the end of the day, give it a go. If you like it, you've opened yourself up to another branch of music to go and see or listen to. And if not, you've wasted a couple hours. It's not the worst thing in the world. Skip out in the next song and get yourself a couple of pints. But yeah, I thought it was class. So massive thumbs up, and it'll be something I'll definitely do again.